Have you ever heard of a list that claims its first king ruled for over 43,000 years? This isn't a fantasy novel. It's the Sumerian King List, one of the most mysterious and influential documents from the ancient world. It's a text that blurs the lines between myth and history, and it holds the key to understanding how the idea of absolute power, of one person ruling over all, began. Today, we're going to unravel the secrets of this ancient list and explore a fascinating question. Did this, our story begins in what the Sumerians believed was the very first city on Earth, Eridu, located in modern-day southern Iraq. According to the list, this is where civilization began. It states, after the kingship descended from heaven, the kingship was in Eridu. Think about that for a moment. Kingship wasn't a human invention or a social contract. It was a divine gift handed down directly from the gods. This immediately places the king on a level far above ordinary people. He wasn't just a leader. He was a chosen intermediary between the heavens and the earth. And the first kings on this list, their reigns were mind-bogglingly long. The very first king, Alulim, is said to have ruled for 28,800 years. His successor, Alangar, ruled for 36,000 years. 8 kings in total are listed before a great flood sweeps across the land, with combined reigns stretching over hundreds of thousands of years. Now, obviously, these aren't literal historical records. No human being lives for tens of thousands of years. So what's the point of these incredible numbers? Scholars believe these mythical reigns served a specific purpose. They created a sense of immense, almost unimaginable antiquity and stability. They established the idea that kingship was an institution that had existed since the dawn of time, blessed by the gods with longevity and power. It wasn't just a political office. It was a cosmic one. This was the foundation myth, the story that told every Sumerian that the order of their world, with a king at the top, was a sacred and eternal one. After the great flood, the list says kingship descended from heaven once more, this time to the city of Kish. This is where the list starts to look a little more like actual history, though the reign lengths are still exaggerated. The first king after the flood, Jushah of Kish, is said to have ruled for 1,200 years. But as we move down the list, the reigns become more plausible, eventually settling into numbers that look like real human lifespans. This is where the true political genius of the Sumerian King List becomes clear. Imagine you're a ruler in ancient Mesopotamia. The land is a patchwork of competing city-states, Ur, Uruk, Lagash, and many others. Each city has its own local ruler and its own patron deity. How do you convince everyone that you, the king of Kish or later Akkad, are the rightful ruler over all of them? You create a master narrative. You commission scribes to compile a list that presents history as a single, unbroken line of succession. The King List does exactly this. It claims that kingship is a singular entity. It can only be held by one city at a time. The list reads like a relay race of power. First Eridu had it. Then the flood came. Then Kish had it. Then Uruk defeated Kish and took it. Then Ur defeated Uruk, and so on. This was a brilliant piece of political propaganda. It took a messy reality of constant warfare and shifting alliances and imposed a neat, linear order onto it. By saying kingship was in Kish, it implied that other rulers in other cities were not legitimate. They were local governors or rebels, but the one true king, the one recognized by the gods, resided in a city that held the official kingship. When powerful rulers like Sargon of Akkad united Mesopotamia for the first time, they used this concept to legitimize their new empire. They weren't just conquerors. They were the rightful inheritors of a divine tradition that stretched back to the beginning of time. The list became a tool to justify conquest and centralize power. It transformed the idea of a king from a local city leader into the one true sovereign of the entire land. This model of a single divinely sanctioned ruler didn't just stay in Sumer and Akkad. It became the blueprint for power in the ancient Near East for thousands of years. The Babylonians, who inherited the culture of Sumer, embraced this idea wholeheartedly. Hammurabi, famous for his law code, presented himself not just as a conqueror, but as the shepherd chosen by the gods to bring justice and order to the land, a direct successor to that ancient singular kingship. His famous stele shows him receiving the symbols of power directly from the sun god. Shamash, a visual representation of the concept laid out in the King List. Then came the Assyrians, a military powerhouse that built one of the largest empires the world had yet seen. Their kings were absolute monarchs, their power unquestioned. They were the vice-regents of the god Ashur on earth. Their propaganda, carved into massive palace reliefs, depicted them as mighty warriors and master builders, but always as the sole channel of divine will. This ideology of absolute, divinely ordained monarchy had its roots in that same Sumerian concept of a singular kingship passed down from heaven. Even the Persian Empire, which conquered Babylon and stretched from India to Greece, adopted elements of this model. Kings like Cyrus the Great and Darius portrayed themselves as chosen by the supreme god, Ahura Mazda, to bring order to the world. They were the King of Kings, a title that explicitly acknowledged the existence of lesser kings but asserted their own absolute supremacy, a direct echo of how the Sumerian King List organized the political landscape. This idea, born on clay tablets in southern Iraq, proved to be incredibly resilient and adaptable. It provided a powerful justification for autocratic rule, a model that would be copied, adapted, and refined by empire after empire, shaping the political DNA of the region. So, when we look back at this incredible document, we see more than just a list of names and impossibly long reigns. We see the birth of a political idea, the creation of a myth that would shape reality. It started in the mythical city of Eridu, where kingship was a gift from heaven. It was used as a brilliant propaganda tool to legitimize the power of real-world rulers in Kish and Akkad. And its core concept, the idea of a single, divinely chosen, absolute ruler, created a powerful model for autocracy that echoed through the great empires of Babylonia, Assyria, and Persia. The legacy of the Sumerian King List is a testament to the power of stories. It shows how a foundational myth can construct a political reality that lasts for millennia. From the ancient marshlands of Eridu to the sprawling urban centers of modern Tehran, the idea of a singular supreme authority has been a constant feature of the region's history. And it all began with a list, written on clay, that dared to claim that kingship was not made by men, but was a gift from the gods. Thanks for joining us on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this exploration of ancient history and power, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shaped our world. Let us know in the comments what other ancient mysteries you'd like us to uncover. See you next time.